Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Big broad picture here. You can see the northern branch of the jet stream showing up here along the U.S.-Canadian border. Little shortwave troughs. You can see where some really strong wind gusts are downsloping off the Rockies this afternoon, and you can also see some pretty good gusts whipping across portions of the northeast United States, giving us sort of a little bit of a gradient wind issue today. So far, it really hasn't been that big a deal, and things are going to be ramping down and improving over the course of the next couple of hours. Temperature scheme, you can see that as kind of a Pacific zonal flow here with these little shortwave troughs, and this kind of setup typically brings us warmer than normal temperatures, and indeed this is the case. The colder air is locked up in the more northern Arctic region, and kind of looking at that, you can see the temperatures up in parts of Alaska. They're in the minus 40s, but they're not going to make it down here as we have a tighter polar vortex, and that polar vortex is going to keep locking in a lot of that colder air, and that has been pretty much the design going through what looks like the last half of this winter. A little bit of a change to other recent mini winters, seeing these sort of backloaded kind of snowfalls and whatnot that last into April. This could be a bit of a change. However, there's always going to be curveballs, and some of those curveballs typically happen toward the late part of the winter, just when we make our transition into spring, and that would probably be later in the month and toward the month of April. So this is our storm system we're currently seeing with a little bit of flurry action, a little tighter pressure gradient that's pulling away. So this is the European model running that. We're going to see a little bit of isolated flurry action into the early evening hours, mostly west of the spine of the Green Mountains. Some of that's coming off of Lake Huron, and then that moisture gets dissipated out. We're looking at a fine day setting up for Thursday, a weak area of higher pressure ridging in from the middle Atlantic states. We have another weather system trying to get together here. These two have been sort of playing a game. Some jet stream energy coming in from the southern part of the United States, a subtropical jet. Then you have the northern branch of the jet stream. This is digging down with a little jet stream energy working in sort of southward. So the combination is trying to phase these two together, but they never really get going. But this is how close it does happen. You can see a little bit of snow working in the state of Vermont. This is valid about 21Z. That'd be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. It looks like during Friday evening into the overnight Friday night, and then that pulls away. We're looking at a Saturday featuring this elongated area of higher pressure, 1037 hectopascals. That's going to be kind of in the control of our weekend. So we're looking at 3 days of very dry weather. It looks like basically Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And our next threat is going to be some jet energy coming across the central Rockies, also combining with some colder air. This is going to set the stage for an area of low pressure to develop. It looks like rain, potential for a little bit of mixed precipitation there. Again, this is after the period, so we're talking basically Tuesday night into Wednesday morning when this starts to get going. And looking at the GFS ensemble, you can see that we have a QPF of in 3-hour basis here. This is our little bit of business that's going to take place on Friday night. The blue line is really what the latest model run is showing. A lot of this is a little bit more exaggerated. Then we have dry weather for 3 days, and we get into this gibberish here, which is going to be for the early to mid part of next week. Total QPF, you can see the amounts here, generally around 2,500, 3/10 of an inch. Although, again, the blue line is the latest computer model run. I think these are a little bit too exaggerated. You can see that a little more of an uptick once we get into the early to mid part of next week. But boy, it is pretty flimsy, and we're talking about very little in the way of precipitation, a rather pretty good dry period. Looking at the climate reanalyzer temperature anomalies, you can see that pretty much coast to coast above normal in temperature. Cold air is locked up in the Arctic where it should be. It's pretty warm across parts of Asia as well. Not a whole lot to see here. And you can see the GFS plumes show that temperatures for the most part do remain below the freezing mark, at least 0 degrees centigrade at 850 hectopascals. The 2-meter temperature forecast looks like this. So our weighted temperatures, these are max temperatures over the next 5 days. Look like this. We're going to see temperatures at their warmest, warming up here. And really almost coast to coast, but not quite. And we're running about 3 degrees above normal toward Vermont. What about 3 days later? Looks like this. And a lot of that warmer air does get in here. And it's still all the way back into Nevada, almost parts of California. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.